And welcome to our 60-minute Vinyasa practice. It's actually warmer than I thought it was going to be. So I mentioned to a couple of people who were here earlier, when I was a landscape photographer, one of the things that used to happen is I'd have to get up really early in the morning, like 4:30, to get to a spot, either hiking if I was up in the mountains or driving up from here. And there were a lot of days where it was really snowy or cold or raining, and I'd get up and look out and say, this isn't a good day to photograph. I might as well just stay in bed because it's not going to be fun anyway, and I won't be able to get any decent photographs. And I did that a couple of times, and then I realized if I'd never got outside, I was never going to photograph anything. And so I'd get up and I'd go out, and what I'd find is that the most beautiful shots would happen in those moments. And so I feel like this is a little bit the same way. I woke up this morning, I looked at the temperature, it was like 27 degrees or 28 or 32, depending on what app I looked at. And so my immediate reaction as I look at myself was, let's just cancel the in-person and everybody can Zoom, and that'll be much more fun. And then I realized, if we don't get out here and try it, we're never going to see what this experience is like. So here we are, and thank you all for making the effort to get here. And guess what? It's actually really pleasant out. It's not at all what I was afraid it might be. So it just reaffirms a lesson that I continually have to teach myself over and over and over again. Let's take a moment just to feel the sun on our faces and settle into our mats. And begin to recognize that it's time for us to practice yoga. Follow your breath as it flows in and flows out. Notice how your body responds as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Listen to the sounds. Notice some you may judge good, and some you may judge as sort of annoying. Now see if you can let go of judgment and just recognize it all as sensation. Maybe something shifts for you as you do that. On an inhale, let your arms reach up and overhead now. Bring your palms together and then pull the hands down to heart center. Now inhale and reach back up. Exhale the arms to a T. Bring the hands out, palms facing down, left hand down, right hand reaches. Stay grounded in the right sitting bone. Bend the right elbow. Find a little bit of a stretch on the right sitting or on the right side of the body. Now engage your core as you rise up. And bring the right hand down. Bend the right elbow. Anchor into the left sitting bone as you reach with the left hand. Feel that stretch on the left side. And inhale, rise back up. Let's just flow side to side now. Staying aware of the stretch that moves into the side body and other feelings, whatever they are. And one more time, left hand down, right hand reaching, rising, and bring the right hand down. Left hand stretches, and then inhale, rise back up. Reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers this time. Press the palms towards the sky. As you press up even more, maybe look up. And then release the hands. Bring them behind you. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Straighten the elbows. Feel that nice stretch in the shoulders as well as the top of the chest. Now take a deep breath in to the expansiveness you've created in the chest. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and begin to fold forward. Keep reaching your head forward so the spine is long. Now reach the arms up and overhead, and then slowly rise back up. The core engages now as you come up. Now bring the hands down to the mat behind you. Keep the fingers interlaced. Inhale, lift your chin high. Press the chest up towards the sky. Now lean forward so the weight comes off the hands. Release the hands, reach them up. And exhale, bringing hands to heart center on the exhale. Inhale, reach back up, and now the arms come out to a T. Reach the hands apart from one another. Take a big, deep breath in. As you exhale, find your twist to the left. Yeah, that left. And bring the right hand to the left knee. As you breathe in deeply, let your spine get long, and then as you exhale, feel a little bit more into the twist. Do that one more time. A deep breath in and exhale into the twist. And then slowly come back to center and reach the arms high. Interlace the fingers, invert the palms. Second time here, stretch the palms towards the sky. Look up and press up even more. Now level the chin, bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers behind the back, straighten the elbows. Second time in this posture, press the palms towards one another. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Keep your spine long, folding forward. And then inhale, come back up. And then bring the hands down behind you, maybe a little farther back this time than you did before. Lift your chin. Now bend the elbows a little bit. Lift up a little bit higher through the chest. Now level the chin and bring the weight forward so the weight comes off the hands. Reach the arms high and exhale to heart center. Inhale, the arms go back up and out to a T. We got a twist to do to the other side. Left hand to right knee. Right hand down behind you. Breathe in deeply. And exhale and find the twist. Do that again. A big deep breath in. And exhale into the twist. One more time. Deep breath in. And exhale and let it go. Bring it back to center. Whew. How's everybody doing? Doesn't the sun feel wonderful? It does. It feels really good. I'm thinking I should peel some of these layers off, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that with these mics on. Let's come over the knees into table pose. Now drop your belly, lift your chin. Let's find cow pose. Reach the tailbone up towards the sky, away from the knees. And then exhale to cat pose. Press your hands into the mat. Bring your chin towards your chest. And let your forehead come towards your knees, rounding the spine. Now inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. About 3 more times through. Flowing between cow and cat, feeling the breath as it flows in and out. Couple more times. And one more. Good job. Now walk the hands forward about 1 hand length. So the hands are hand length. So the hands are forward of the shoulders, but the hips are still over your knees. Now keep the hands where they are. Press your tailbone back towards the back of your mat, lengthening the spine. Let your hips come down to your heels. Now on an inhale, rise up, drawing your navel up towards the cloudless sky. Then press the hips forward and down. Elbows stay straight. Press the hands into the mat. Press your chest forward. Now draw the navel up again towards the sky. And then press the hips back towards that version of child's pose. Feel the stretch in the back. Inhale, rising and gliding forward. And then pressing back. Let's go through it a couple more times. Gliding forward and pressing back, lengthening the spine as you reach the tailbone back. And one more time through. This time pause when you come forward. Now pull your shoulders back so the shoulder blades come a little closer together on the back. And then look off to your left. And then to the right. And then off to the left. And then to the right. Back to center. Take a breath. And then back to table pose. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. And pedal it out. Bend one knee and then the other knee. Yeah, I'm taking my socks off too. Hi, Maureen. Morning. Good to see you. Now find stillness in downward facing dog and reach your tailbone up and back, lengthening the spine. Maybe feel a nice stretch in the back of the legs. On an inhale, reach your right leg up and then step the right foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now step the left foot forward to meet it into a standing forward fold and then let your head drop down. Bend the knees a little bit, take some pressure off the hamstrings. Let the top of the head come down closer to the mat, deepening the forward fold. See if you can bring your weight into the front of the feet a little bit more. Now keep your chin on your chest. Draw your navel up as you rise so the spine is rounding. Then let your arms float high. Look up as you bring the palms together and then bring the hands to heart center. On an inhale, reach up and back. And now swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half lift this time. Hands at the top of the shin. Spine is long. And then exhale and fold forward. A little bend in the knees is fine. Keep your left foot forward. Step the right foot back. Runner's lunge. Now the left foot steps back to meet the right foot. Plank pose. Take a deep breath in plank. And then just lift your hips. Downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg rises. Lift the left leg high. Press the right heel down towards the mat. And then when you're ready, step your left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Press back on the right heel. Now step the right foot forward, standing forward fold. Second or third time here, let your head drop down. Let your weight come forward into the front of the feet. Now bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back, reach your knuckles up towards the sky, and straighten the elbows if you can. Keep the weight in the front of the feet and slowly rise. Nice and slow, maybe about 8 counts coming up. So you're really feeling that in the glutes and the hamstrings as you rise. Once you're all the way up, take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, press the knuckles down towards the heels and then release the hands. Reach them up. And then exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. Inhale, reach back up, and now swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half lift again. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Right foot stays forward, left foot is back. Runner's lunge. Right foot steps back now to plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. On an inhale, left leg rises, lift it high, and then step it forward so it comes between the hands. And the right foot steps forward, standing forward fold. We're back to that. Arms out to a T this time. Press into the front of the feet as you reverse swan dive, rising nice and slow. No need to rush. And let your arms float high, and exhale, and bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach back up. Bring the arms to a T. Now halfway down. Spine is long. Now bend the right knee, bring the right hand down, reach the left hand high. This is standing twist. Bend that right knee a little more, left leg nice and straight. And then straighten the right leg and bring the left hand down. Bend the left knee, reach the right hand high. Let's do that again on the other side. Bend the right knee, right hand down, left hand up. Everybody walk your right hand forward about 1 inch or 2 so you're lengthening your spine, or at least giving your body a chance to feel into the lengthened spine. And last one, left hand down, left knee bends. Remember to walk that left hand forward just a little bit. Now bring both hands down, legs straighten, arms out to a T, reverse swan dive as you rise, reach up high, and then up and back, back bend. And then back to heart center. Let your eyes close down. Just take a breath or two. And maybe one more. What a gorgeous morning. On an inhale, reach the arms high, and then swan dive to a forward fold. Come to a half lift again. Exhale the hands to the mat. Leave your right foot forward, left foot steps back. Now bring the left knee to the mat and untuck the toes on the left foot. Press into the right foot and rise. Reach up high. Reach through the wrists. Press that right knee forward. Arms come out to a T. Reach the hands apart from one another. And then take a twist to the right. Bring the left elbow to the right knee and join the palms. You know how to do this. Prayer twist. Let's come out the way we came in. Reach the right hand back. Left hand forward. Palms face to the right. And then back to center. Bring the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Press the knuckles towards the left heel. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze up. It is really almost completely cloudless, isn't it? Take a deep breath. And then release. Reach your arms high. And then down on either side of the right foot. Tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Right foot steps back to plank pose. 3 breaths now in plank pose. Squeeze the glutes together. Take a deep breath and exhale. Let the breath go. Stay in the pose. Do that again. A big deep breath. And let it go. One more time. Deep breath. And now bring the knees to the mat on the exhale. Untuck the toes. Let's find Cobra Pose. Elbows stay bent in Cobra Pose. And release. Tuck your toes, push to plank. And lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch it out, pressing the heels down towards the mat. On an inhale, reach the left leg high. And then step it forward. Bring the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes, reach the arms high. Press into that left foot, press the left knee forward. And the arms come out to a T. Take a big deep breath. Exhale to the left. Right elbow to left knee, palms joined together. Into our prayer twist, second side. One more breath. We'll come out the way we came in. Press into the left foot, reach the left hand back. Right hand reaches forward. And then back to center. Reach up high. And bring the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers using the awkward grip. I could barely spit that out. And as you do that, press the knuckles back towards the right heel. When you're ready, look up. Breathe. And release. Reach up high. Exhale the hands down. Tuck the toes. Bring the right knee off the mat. And left foot steps back. Plank pose. 3 breaths again in plank pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, big deep breath in and out. And one more big deep breath. And then as you exhale, bring the knees to the mat, untuck the toes. We'll come into our second Cobra Pose. Pressing the pubic bone down. Press the heart forward. Let the shoulder blades come back. Your gaze is straight forward or up. And then release. Come all the way down. And bring your hands by your side. Press the palms into the mat, so arms are long. Flip your palms so they face down. Now a half locust pose. Pick your knees up off the mat. Pick your feet up off the mat. Press the palms gently into the mat. The upper body's still just resting on the mat. See if you can pick your feet up a little higher and at the same time press the toes back towards the back of your mat. One more breath. Good job. Release. With the hands still behind, or actually long, bring your hands together. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Let's do a full locust pose. Straighten the elbows. Press the knuckles towards the heels. Now lift everything up off the mat. The chest, the knees, the feet, the shoulders, the head. Now breathe. Take the time to notice your body rising up as you breathe in and gently dropping down a little bit as you breathe out. Just follow that gentle rise and fall of the body with the breath. One more time. Good job. Release. Release the hands. You can bring your cheek to the mat if you like. And just breathe. Feel the sunshine. Feel your body resting on your mat. Now bring the hands in front, right below the shoulders. Then tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips into downward facing dog. On the inhale, reach the right leg up and let's find a three-legged dog. Open the hips to the right. Pressing the left heel down. Make sure your shoulders stay square to the front of the mat. Now level the hips and then step the right foot forward so it comes between the hands and rise to a high crescent lunge this time. The right knee stays bent. Reach up high. Now the arms are out to a T. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just gently twist to your right. Palms face to the right. And back to center. And twist again. Over to the right. Nice slow movement to maintain balance. Back to center. And again, over to the right. We'll just keep doing this all morning maybe. And back to center. Reach up high now. And then bring the hands down on either side of that right foot. Step the right foot back. Level your hips. And then flow through a vinyasa. Come to upward dog. And then when you're ready, it's time for downward facing dog. On the inhale, the left leg rises. Lift it up. And then find three-legged dog on the second side. Opening the hips to the left. Left knee is bent. Work on stacking the left hip over the right hip. Try and relax the left foot. Now level the hips. And step your left foot forward so it comes between the hands. You may want to heel toe that left foot over to the left a little bit to give you a little wider stance. Then when you're ready, rise back up. Left knee is bent and pointing straight forward. Looks awesome. High crescent lunge. Now the arms come out to a T. Take the time to reach the hands apart from one another. And then on the exhale, twist to the left. Palms face to the left. Good job. And back to center. And again, twist to the left. And back to center. And one more time. Slow it down now. And then back to center. And then reach up high. And bring the hands down on either side of the left foot. Step the right foot forward this time into a standing forward fold. And let your head drop down. Take opposite elbows. Press the elbows down towards the mat. And bend your knees a little. And see if you can bring the weight forward into the front of the feet. 2 more breaths. Now let your upper body start to sway from side to side, very slowly. Feel the weight moving from one foot to the other as you do that. Now keep opposite elbows and see if you can keep your biceps on either side of your ears. Keep the spine long, so try not to round. Press into the front of the feet and come all the way up. This is going to create deep core engagement as you rise. And then reach the elbows up and back. Look up a little bit towards the sky. Bring the weight into the front of the feet. Now rise all the way, release the hands, and swan dive. Forward fold, half lift. Exhale the hands to the mat. Right foot stays forward, left foot steps back, runner's lunge. Spin the left heel to the mat, rise, warrior two. Right knee pointing straight forward, toes on the left foot pointing straight off to the left, about 90 degrees. Can you bend your right knee a little bit more, challenging the quadricep muscles in that right leg? Now relax the upper body a little bit. You guys have gotten out of practice doing that, I can tell, because there's a lot of tension in the upper body. You hear the birds? Yeah, relax the tension, release it. You don't need it. Now straighten the right leg, left hand comes down, reverse triangle pose. And then back to warrior two. Bend the right knee, a little deeper. And again, reverse triangle pose. And warrior two. And again, reverse triangle pose. And warrior two. Take a breath. Extended side angle pose, elbow to knee. Reach with the left hand. Are you anchored in the pinky toe of the left foot? Are you stretching the left side body? Back to warrior two. Take a breath. Now bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot and flow through a vinyasa. Step the right foot back, of course, and then flow through a vinyasa. Yeah, it was going to be hard to do it in runner's lunge. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Whew, stretch it out. Pedal it out a little bit if you'd like. Let your head drop down. Let the neck muscles completely disengage. You can shake your head from side to side if you like. Now on an inhale, reach the left leg up. Then step it forward so it ends up between the hands. Spin the right heel to the mat and rise, warrior two. Second side. Now bend the left knee. Make sure that left knee is pointed straight forward. Feel the quadricep muscles working? Yeah. Anchor into the pinky toe of that right foot. Now straighten the right leg, reach up and back. Reverse triangle pose. Press into the left foot now as you do that. Now warrior two. And again, straightening, reaching up and back. And warrior two. We need to do it a third time, reaching up and back. And warrior two. Settle into warrior two. Relax the upper body again. Notice if you brought tension into the upper body. And then extended side angle pose. 2 more breaths. Now keep the left knee bent and rise to warrior two. Take a breath. And then exhale the hands down on either side of the right foot, or left foot rather. Left foot steps back now to plank pose. Flow through your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Now bend the knees deeply and take a big hop forward so the feet end up eventually between the hands. Good work on the hopping. A little tentativeness in hopping. That's okay. Let your head drop down. Take opposite elbows again. Press the elbows down towards the mat. See if you can reduce the distance, even if it's only 1/4 of an inch between the elbows and your mat. Now lean forward a little bit more so the heels are beginning to float. Leave the heels floating and slowly rise. Keep opposite elbows as you come up. Eventually reach the elbows high and then lift your gaze up. And all the way back up. And let's circle the arms. Keep the arms long. So you're just circling the arms and the shoulder joints. Then bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back, press the knuckles towards the heels. Try not to round the back too much. So hopefully I can demonstrate this. So instead of doing this, keep your gaze level and just pull the shoulder blades together. So you really start to feel a big stretch in the chest. See if you can pull your tailbone down towards your heels a little bit, and that'll help you avoid the rounding, and maybe lift your navel up towards your chin. Now hinge at the hips. Folding forward, reach the knuckles up and overhead. Reach the knuckles up a little higher if you can. Now release the hands, bring them all the way down. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back, runner's lunge. And the right foot steps back now to plank pose. Take a deep breath in plank. Now a side plank, right hand stays down, roll over on the pinky toe side of the right foot. Reach the left hand up. Left hand can reach forward if you want. The left foot can lift up if you want to. Just exploring your body in the pose. Release the left foot, release the left hand. Flow through Vinyasa, upward dog, and downward dog. Glide forward to plank pose. Let's find side plank, second side, left hand down, right hand reaches. Right hand reaching forward if you want to, the right foot can lift up. Release the foot, release the hand, flow through a Vinyasa, upward dog. Now release the knees to the mat and come all the way down. Two more breaths. And one more. Now bend the knees. Back for the ankles or the feet. Now take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, press the feet into the hands. See if you can lift your chest and your knees off the mat. This is bow pose. When you're ready, release the knees, release the hands from the feet. Bring the hands under the shoulders, push to plank, and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Now bend the knees. Take a little hop so the feet end up between the hands. Now arms out to a T and reverse swan dive, rising. Reach up, and then as you exhale, bend the knees. Let's find chair pose. Bring the weight back into the heels a little bit more. Feet roughly parallel to one another. I can see some of you were skiing over the winter. Now bring hands to heart center. We're going to find a chair twist. Left elbow to right knee. Right elbow reaches up. Notice how the spine is twisted in the pose. See if your left knees come forward. If it has, just invite it back so the knees stay even. Now back to center. Back to chair. Reach up. Bring the weight back into the heels a little more. Hands to heart center. Twist the other direction. Checking with the knees. Make sure they're even. Good job. Spine is nice and long. Excellent work. And back to center. Reach back up to chair. Now rise all the way up, and then swan dive to a forward fold. Come to a half lift. Lengthen your spine in the half lift by pressing your palms into the top of the shins. And then exhale and fold forward. Let your head come all the way down. Right foot stays forward, left foot steps back, runner's lunge. Left hand is down, right hand reaches up into a lunge twist. Bring the right hand down, put it inside the right foot. Reach the left hand high, revolved lunge twist. Stay up on the ball of that left foot if you can. Bend the right knee just a little more. Now spin the left heel to the mat. Before you rise, anchor into the pinky toe of the left foot. Now come all the way back up. Warrior two. Second time here. Take a breath. Whew. Extended side angle pose. Second time we've been in this pose on this side. If you straighten your right leg a little bit, see if you can rebend it. Reach out of that left hand. Really stretch the left side body. I feel that in my armpit. I don't know if you do. Now a half bind. Reach the left hand up and then bring it behind you. See if you can connect that left hand with the right thigh. And then open up the left shoulder. Keep the right knee bent. You can look up if you want, or out to the side. Either way is okay. Full bind here if you want to. I didn't mention that before, but that's always an option. And then release. Back to extended side angle pose now. Press into the pinky toe of the left foot. And rise, reverse triangle pose. Right leg straightens, reach up and back with the right hand. Press into the right foot here, and then you can reach more with the right hand. Now bring the arms out to a T. Take a big, deep breath and let it go. Do that again, a big, deep breath. As you exhale, press into the left foot, reach the right hand forward, then pause. Yeah, I know you know where you're going. Do that again. Press into the left foot, reach the right hand forward, pause. Now bring the right hand down as you come to triangle pose. So we've changed a little bit the dynamic of getting into the pose by emphasizing where you're going. Now open your left shoulder up a little bit more so the left shoulder is right over the right shoulder. One more breath. Now bend the right knee slightly. Bring the left hand down and the right hand down. Both hands are inside that right foot. Now straighten the right leg if you can, and move the right hand to the outside of the right foot into pyramid pose. Pull the right hip back a little bit more. The left hip pulls forward just a bit more. And for most of you, this is going to create a huge stretch on the back of the right leg. Try and bring your chest down towards your knee a little bit more, so you're not rounding the back as much as you're keeping it nice and long. Now bend the right knee. Come up on the ball of the left foot. Bring both hands back to the inside of the right foot. Then bring your right knee to the mat. Come down to lizard pose. Untuck the toes on the right foot or the left foot. Bring the elbows down to the mat if you can. Lizard pose is a huge hip stretch. All right. You guys have brought blocks. That's awesome. Thank you for bringing your blocks. See if you can hug your right knee in towards your right shoulder a little bit more. Notice how that changes the way the pose feels. Or maybe changes the way the pose feels. Now, tuck the toes, come up onto the hands, then tuck the toes, bring the left knee off the mat, move the right hand to the outside of that right foot, and then just step your right foot back to plank pose. Find a sturdiness in plank. Feel nice and steady in the pose. Now take a big deep breath in, and then exhale and lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. And then glide forward again to plank. We're going to do that 4 more times. Deep breath in, exhale, downward dog, and glide forward to plank. 3 more. Deep breath in, exhale, downward dog, and forward to plank. Press to downward dog, and 1 more time, plank. And then lift your hips on the exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach your left leg up and then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Right hand stays on the mat, left hand reaches high, lunge twist. Keep that left knee bent. If you started to straighten it a little bit in the pose, rebend the knee. And then bring the left hand down inside the left foot, plant the left hand there, and reach the right hand high. Now spin your right heel to the mat, anchor into the pinky toe of the right foot, and rise. Warrior 2. It's warmed up a lot. How's everybody doing? How's everybody on Zoom doing? Now extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee. Reach with the right hand. Half bind. Reach the right hand up and back. Bring it behind you. Connect it with the thigh if you can, with that left thigh. Full bind if you want to. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Release back to extended side angle pose. And now reverse triangle pose, straightening the right leg. Now arms out to a T. Pause for a moment. Just take a breath. Reach your hands apart from one another. Stretch it out. Now press into the right foot. Reach the left hand forward and pause. And do that again. Deep breath in. Press into the right foot. Reach the left hand forward. Now bring it down. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. Now take a moment to refine the pose and your body in the pose. Maybe you want to open the right shoulder up a little bit more. Maybe you want to check that your head is reaching straight forward and not off to the right side. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good job. Slight bend in the left knee. Bring the right hand down to the mat. Left hand comes down to the mat. Now straighten the left leg if you can and move the left hand to the outside of the left foot as we come into pyramid pose. Couple more breaths. Think about letting your chest come closer to the thigh, helping you lengthen the spine. If you feel pain in the back of the left leg, bend the left knee a little bit. Doesn't have to be absolutely straight. Now, bend the left knee. Step the left foot back to plank pose. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Take a nice hop forward so the feet end up between the hands. We need to do a hopping clinic. Bless you. Now arms out to a T. Press into the front of the feet and rise. Reach up high. And exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Pause for a moment. Just feel the sun on your face or the glow of a light bulb if you're indoors. Release the hands down now. Just going to do a little bit of a balance. So weight in the right foot. Pick the left knee up, bending the left knee. Bring the left hand to the inside of the knee with the thumb pointing down. And reach your right hand out and then just open up that left knee. This is called, unsurprisingly, standing big knee pose. But you probably knew that. Breathe. Tree pose if you want to. Hands wherever you want. They can be up and overhead. They can be at heart center. They can be out. Just cultivating the feeling of balance. Nothing else to these poses. Just the experience of balancing. And release it. Whew. Bring your hands back to heart center. Bring both feet to the mat. And then release the hands. Palms face forward. Just breathe. Relax. Let the weight come into the left foot now. Standing big knee pose. Second side. Bend the right knee. Right hand to the right knee. Open the knee up. Reach out with the left hand. Slow movement will help with balance. And when I say slow, I mean really slow it way down. So that there's no quick movements at all and your body has a chance to adjust to changes of position. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself that grace. If you want to, tree pose. And release. Now bend the knees. Reach your hands forward, palms facing down. Take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, bend the knees a little bit more. Weight in the heels. Do that again. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees just a little bit more. Keep reaching through the fingertips. And again, deep breath in. Exhale, let the hips drop down just a bit more. And one more. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way down, and then bring your hands behind you. And fall down on your mat, which we can do because we're on the grass, which is pretty soft, even though it's early in the season. Once you're there, let's find a cross-legged position. Hands on the top of the knees, palms facing down. Breathe in. And out. And do that again, a big deep breath. And let the breath go. Now bring the soles of the feet together into Cobbler Pose. And then without further ado, we're going to float our Cobbler Pose. So bring the hands to the outside of the feet, the pinky toe side. Try and keep your spine long. So the tendency here is kind of hunch over. I want you to do the opposite of that. So pull the shoulder blades back. Keep your spine nice and long. Now, right hand on right foot, left hand on left foot. Lean back just a little bit more. And then start to straighten the legs. Bring the feet apart from one another. Press through the heels. Chest is rising. Breathe. Press through the heels a little more. And then bring the soles of the feet back together into our floating version of Cobbler Pose. And a second time. Pressing the feet apart, straightening the legs. Noticing how balance has come into play, as well as strength, flexibility. A lot of things going on in this pose. And soles of the feet come back together. You release the hands, reach them forward. Now flip your palms so they face up. And bring the tip of your thumb to the tip of your index finger. Your second finger. Both hands. Now bring the knees together. And then straighten the legs. Boat pose. I love doing this outdoors on the grass, because my butt sort of sinks into the ground and supports me in the pose. So you could keep doing this for hours, I think, because it's just so easy here. I'm just kidding. Release the heels to the mat. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale and fold forward over both legs. Now chin on chest, round your spine as you rise, coming up. Now on the exhale, bring the hands outside the hips. Press the palms into the mat. Now bring your shoulder blades back a little bit. And then bend the knees. Let's roll all the way down to the back. Once you're on your back, reach your feet up to the sky, legs up the wall pose, and see if you can bring your feet so that the soles of the feet are parallel to the sky above you. Press the palms gently into the mat. Let the legs do the work here. Lengthening the spine. Now, you can stay where you are and legs up the wall, or you can bring your feet up and overhead, touching the toes down on the grass or floor behind you. This is plow pose. Let's all return to legs up the wall pose, where we'll meet. Now bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. With the feet about hip width apart, press the feet into the mat and lift your hips. This is bridge pose. Some of you can support your low back with your hands, with the thumbs kind of pointing towards one another, right at the back of the waist. Two more breaths in bridge pose. Release now. Come all the way down, tailbone to the mat, and hug your knees gently into your chest. And now happy baby pose. Hands to the pinky toe side of the feet. Soles of the feet still reaching to the sky, just like they were in legs up the wall pose. Release the hands from the feet now, coming out of legs, or coming out of happy baby pose. Bring the right foot down to the mat with the right knee bent. And we're going to find a supine figure 4. So bring your left ankle to your right knee, and then pick the right foot up off the mat and interlace your fingers behind the right leg. Do that either below the knee so you capture both the shin and the thigh, or you can do it above the knee so you capture only the thigh. Either way, hug the knee in and press the left knee away until you start to feel an opening in the hip on the left side. Now 3 breaths, allowing your body to move more and more deeply into this wonderful hip opening pose. Two more breaths. Let the breath begin to deepen. And one more breath on this side. Good job. Release. Let's find the other side now. Bring your left ankle to your right knee. Interlace the fingers behind that left leg. Hug the left leg in. Right knee presses away. Now 3 breaths. Breathe in, and on the exhale, press the right knee away just a little bit more. And do that twice more. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, and let that right knee move away from your chest. And last one. And release. Let it go. Reach both feet back up to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Hands come down by your side, just like we did before. Press the palms gently into the mat. Now bring the arms out to a T. With the palms facing down, bring the right foot all the way down to the mat. Keep the right leg straight as you do that. Now bring the left leg across the body over to the right. Your left hip lifts up, obviously, off the mat as we come into a supine twist. And you can get a hold of the big toe on the left foot with your right hand if you want to. That may change the way the twist feels a little bit. You can also bend your right knee a bit if you want. So find a place in the pose that feels like it belongs to you. A place where you notice your spine is twisting. In anatomy, they call that spinal rotation. And then let it go. Bring that left leg back up. Both legs come up now, so bring the right foot up to meet it. And then let's go over to the other side. Bring the right foot down, the left foot down. Keep pressing through the right heel as you bring it over to the left and let it land. If it's accessible to you, get a hold of the big toe. There's no touching other people's feet in yoga. Now, just as we did on the other side, let the pose become your own. So begin to own this pose. Finding a place in the pose that really feels like it's meant for you. Feeling the spinal twist, not fighting with it. One more breath. And let that left leg come back up. Sorry, the right leg. And the left leg comes up to meet it now, and bring your hands down by your side. Actually, let me change that. Bring the arms back out to a T, palms face down. Bend the knees so the knees come towards the chest. Keep the back of the head on the mat or the floor behind you or the grass, and let your knees travel to the left and hover about an inch above the mat. And then bring it back to center and over to the right side. Same thing here, just hover. Inhale back to center and over to the other side. And back to center and over to the right. One more time on each side. Back to center to the left. And back to center and to the right. And then back to center. And then just straighten the legs. And let's come to our final pose, Shavasana. Take a minute to let your body adjust to Shavasana and find a comfortable spot in the pose. Find a place in this pose that feels like your own. Don't worry about what you've been taught. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Find your Shavasana. Maybe that means you shift your body a little bit. Now settle into it a little bit more deeply. Now begin to follow your breath. Now shift, now shift from an internal focus to an external focus. Hear all the sounds. Just let them wash over you, not becoming attached to any of them. You hear the birds, the children playing. Do you hear the hum of the traffic on the distant highway? Now, if you're in a place where you can, feel the sun on your face. Feel the warmth. Now draw all those sensations inward. Realizing that the sensations are nothing more than your experience of what's going on in the world. But it is your experience that's occurring. And it's your experience that matters. Bring your awareness now to your nostrils. And draw a deep breath in through both nostrils. And now open your mouth and let the breath go. Do that again, a deep breath in and a big exhale, just let it all go. Now bend your knees, roll to your side, either side is okay, either right or left. You can cradle your head in your arm if you like. Recognize that our practice of yoga is coming to an end for this morning. And then bring yourself to a seat. Once you're seated, you can keep your eyes closed down if you like. Bring your hands to heart center and press your palms gently together. And join me, if you like, in offering loving kindness. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.